Hey, have you ever heard that saying, don't judge a book by its cover? Well, today we've got a story that takes that idea and just blows it up. We're talking about one simple encounter, in a bank of all places, that flips the entire power dynamic on its head. It's a wild ride that teaches us something really powerful about respect, character, and where true power actually lies.
And it all kicks off with this one line. Just imagine someone in charge looking down their nose and saying this. These words, they're the spark that lights the whole fuse for this incredible lesson in humility. Seriously, remember this line because it's going to come back in a big way.
All right, so let's set the scene. It's 11 a.m. We're in the biggest, fanciest bank in the city. You know the type, right? Where everyone's in a sharp suit and the air just kind of smells like money. It's one of those places where, let's be honest, how you look seems to be all that matters.
And right into the middle of all this walks Charan Das. He's an older gentleman, wearing very simple clothes, just carrying a walking stick in this old-looking envelope. And bam! Instantly, every eye in the place is on him, and not in a good way. You can just feel the judgment from the staff, the other customers. They're all just staring.
So he walks up to a counter to an employee named Seema, and he just has a simple question about his account. But he barely gets a word out before she's looking him up and down, basically telling him, "Are you sure you're in the right place?" The message is loud and clear. Someone who looks like you don't belong here.
Okay, so this is where it gets really fascinating. The way this one quiet, humble man is treated, it's like a litmus test. It instantly reveals the true colors of every single person he runs into.
And you see this stark difference immediately. The bank manager, a guy named Sunil, is asked to come talk to Charan Das. He just peeks out of his office, takes one look at the old man, and is like, nope, not happening. But then you have this junior employee, Amit. He sees what's going on, he hears people whispering, and something just doesn't sit right with him.
So get this, the manager, Sunil, makes this elderly man wait for a full hour. And when he finally decides to come out, it's not to help. Oh no, it's to pile on the humiliation. He just strolls out, all smug, and basically tells him that, transactions tend to stop when there's no money left in an account. Just so condescending.
And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, Sunil delivers the final arrogant punchline. He actually laughs and says something like, with all my years of experience, I can tell everything I need to know about a person just by looking at their face. And he tells Charan Das he sees nothing, that his account is empty. He tells him to get out, that he's making a scene.
So, Charan Das, he just calmly puts his envelope down on the table and starts to leave. But right at the door, he stops. He turns back, looks right at the manager, and says, very quietly but very firmly, "You will suffer a very bad consequence for this." And with that, he's gone. Chilling, right?
Now remember Amit, the junior employee who felt something was wrong? He saw the whole thing go down, and he notices that envelope Charan Das left behind. He picks it up, goes over to his computer, and thinks, okay, I've got to see what's going on here. What in the world could be in that old envelope that's so important?
He pulls up the account records, and his jaw just drops. There's one number on the screen that changes absolutely everything. 60%. 60%. Why does that number matter? Well, because Charan Das wasn't just some random customer with a zero balance. No, he was the majority shareholder. He owned 60% of the entire bank. In fact, he was the guy who founded the whole thing.
Amit is just stunned. He prints out the report and literally runs to Sunil's office. He's trying to warn him, to tell him who he just insulted and threw out of the bank. But Sunil, he's schmoozing some other wealthy client, and he just waves the paper away. He actually says he doesn't have time for people like that. He won't even look at the proof right in front of him.
All right, so let's fast forward to the next day, 11 a.m. sharp. Charan Das walks back into the bank, but this time he's not alone. He's got a man in a very sharp suit with a briefcase right beside him, and you can just feel the entire mood of the bank just shift. Everyone knows something is about to happen.
And yet, Charan Das does not waste a single second. He walks right up to Sunil and lays out the consequences for yesterday's behavior. The judgment is swift, it's decisive, and believe me, it's a lesson for every single person standing there watching.
First thing he does, he calls Ahmed to come forward. The guy in the suit opens up his briefcase and pulls out a set of promotion papers. Just for showing basic human kindness and respect, Ahmed is promoted to branch manager, right then and there. Charan Das says it out loud for everyone to hear. This is the man who understands how to treat people.
Then he turns to Sunil and the rest of the staff, and he reminds them of the rule the bank was founded on, a rule he wrote himself. He says, "Our bank's policy is that the poor and the rich will not be treated differently. All will be weighed on the same scale." It was a principle the manager had totally ignored, and for that failure, Sunil is demoted and sent somewhere else.
So, with justice served, this whole thing isn't just about one guy getting promoted and another getting demoted. Nope. This event sends shockwaves through the whole bank. It's a huge wake-up call, reinforcing a core lesson that they had clearly and dangerously forgotten.
And really, that's why this story is so important for all of us, right? It's such a powerful reminder that you can't judge a person's worth by their clothes or what you think is in their bank account. It's all about how we treat people, especially when we think nobody important is looking. You know, kindness isn't some kind of transaction. It's a mirror reflecting our own character.
And that really leaves us with a big question to chew on, doesn't it? In a world that's so obsessed with what's on the outside, with status and success, how do we make sure that our actions, especially in those little unseen moments, are the things that are truly defining who we are?